Hey guys, here at osmvdxreviews.com. You're watching the full video review of the SVP Watch Phone. This is a G13 series handset that's widely popular and available on eBay and Amazon.com. This is a fully functioning cell phone that's unlocked in quad band, which means you can use it with any SIM card around the world, and it's tiny, tiny, tiny. This cell phone actually is a normal size watch, so you can wear it on your wrist and pretty much no one will detect it, that it is actually a fully functioning phone, a fully functioning camera with Bluetooth, and all these crazy features built in. So in terms of size, it's actually very good. Now, how you access a SIM card is actually behind the back coverage / battery, and you can also access the micro SD card for additional music and video files down below there too. And it's a little bit crowded after we remove the back cover because the SIM card is, pretty much the size of the phone itself. So be careful what you do in there. And overall, though, it's very easy to exchange cards and get your stuff set up. Signal strength is also fairly nice on this device, and you will see that the 1.5-inch display is actually a fully functioning touchscreen, which is good, so you can interact with it with fairly large icons, so it's very touch-friendly. And if you're worried about the dial pad being too small, it's actually very large, and it's fairly responsive as well. So all the icons are large, it's easy to dial someone, and you won't have any issues as well. In terms of call quality, this device was surprisingly decent. It has a very, very loud speakerphone, and you could use the device just by talking back to it, because there's a built-in microphone by the side here and a speaker down below, or you can hook it up to a wireless Bluetooth headset, which is included in the box, which works very well, or you can use a wired headset, so it's a lot of input methods that all work decent and all work really nicely. So call quality is also decent on this device. The next feature you're probably worried about is probably battery life. I can happily report that battery life on this device is very good. After a full charge, which is around 6 hours, you will be able to use the battery for around 4 to 5 days, with the watch being continuously on and with intermittent phone calls and accessing different features and text messaging and doing a few pictures. It's still going to last you around that time. So it's a great battery life. In addition, you have 2 batteries in a pack, so it can last you easily a week without having to recharge and totally plug the phone back in. So battery life is also surprisingly good, especially in today's standards. Now, when you're not using the phone, it actually goes back to this watch interface. The good thing about this watch, you have multiple interfaces to choose from. Now, this is a feature that not many people know about. I've already read a few reviews online, and people said you can't choose and change the interface of the watch. You actually can. It's very easy to do. You have this analog clock right now, which is, I like it. I think it looks good. But in case I don't want it, I can go into the menu system. I can press settings. I can press phone settings and do time and date. And, well, not time and date, but I can do display. And in the display, I can adjust the wallpaper. The wallpaper is actually what's being displayed as your time. So in case I don't want the analog, I can go back to digital. Now, if I'm going back now or to digital, I can go back, and the easiest way to actually access the phone is pressing messaging and then going back 2 times. Let's try that again. Something happened. Phone settings, display. It didn't change. Well, let's go back again. Analog. View this. Analog will look like this. So now we have to press OK. Now it's done. Now it's saved. So we can go back, and back one more layer. Messaging, MMS, back, and now it's showing a digital clock. So it's easy to do this. There's also other different interfaces that you could choose from. For example, if we wanted to see those as well, go back to phone settings and the display. We could watch it, view it. You can also use different images as your theme picture. For example, there's an image here which is a nice orange citrus. You can use 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. These are all cool images to have. So if we wanted to do a lemon or a orange theme, we could go back to that orange, and go OK. And now I'm set back to an orange clock. Now, this is a very cool clock. It's basically a digital clock with a orange backset wallpaper. So going back one more time, MMS, back, and back. There you go. Now it's orange, and now the text is entirely white. So it works very well, it looks very stylish, and it's pretty easy to do. Again, many systems basically tap the screen once to access. You have functions of the phone, which I talked about already, and messaging. Now, the biggest disappointment of this handset is messaging. If you're a text messenger, this phone is not for you. And that's because the QWERTY keyboard is absolutely tiny. The advertisement on this product said that there was a feature called QWERTY keys, which allowed you to type easily with larger buttons. That is a blatant lie. This device does not have large keys at all. Instead, you have the SPY stylus, which is located on the top of the handset, which you pull out, and then type using these tiny buttons. At the very least, the touchscreen is responsive, so you have that. In addition, the input methods are numerous. You don't have to just use English. You can use Chinese with pinyin. You can use Spanish with the tildes and all the different accents. It works with multiple languages, and it works fairly surprisingly well. And if you don't want to use a keyboard, which to be honest no one does, this device actually has built-in text handwriting recognition. So if we wanted to press options and I want to do input method, if I chose templates, options, and input methods, I could press smart ABC, which pretty much is handwriting recognition. So if I wanted to say an A, I can write that on the screen directly by pressing the top ones, and I can say A, and that might have been mistaken as an O. I could write S, and this will be an S. So I can write people by using review, so I can press an R. I can actually type using handwriting recognition, which is a lot faster, in my opinion, than what you can get out of the tiny QWERTY keyboard. It's also pretty accurate as well, so you can always find your way around that way instead of peeping away, because using the handwriting recognition feature, you don't have to use a stylus. You can just tap with your finger and it should be able to work, instead of like using the tiny QWERTY keyboard, which is tiny. So overall, there's your text messaging. It's not the best in the world, but it's okay. It's average. Other features you're probably wondering about is probably the camera. The camera is very average. It's nothing to write home about, and but it is quite a nice spy camera, so you can spy on people in that method. So I can press the multimedia button, and I can press the camera, and so then I can shoot videos, or there's my hand, and I can press that, and it shot the image. I can play it back using the photo player, or delete it by pressing options, and send it to other people using my cellular data, or I can just delete it or edit it. So let's delete it. Delete? Yes. Deleted. So again, this device doesn't lag very much either, so that's a good part. There's a lot of settings you can navigate through, but for the most part, it's touch-friendly, and it doesn't require too much of a wait time after you use something. So you also have an image viewer and a photo viewer. You can view back your images, and you can also resize your images and recapture them, but that's pretty much it. You also can view your total memory, which out of the box you have a total of 250K, so it's not a lot of memory. That's why you want that micro SD card if you're going to do a lot of multimedia, like taking pictures and watching movies and images, which image quality, again, it's okay, as you saw with the orange backdrop, but watching movies is a little bit of a stretch. You do have that wired headset again, but it's kind of small. You also have some basic organizing features, including a world clock, which allows you to go through using a map view and click on different times around the world. This is also pretty easy to use. Again, no web browser on this device, so you can't browse the web. Not that you would really want to on this device. There's a calendar. There's also a tasks. You can write quick memos and an alarm clock, which is very loud, by the way. There's also your Bluetooth settings. This is your user profile for changing different modes and like vibration or ringtones. And you also have your Bluetooth modes, which you can turn on and off to conserve power. And that's pretty much it with this product in terms of features. Again, you have your call logs that you can access directly. You have your settings there, speed dials, your menu system, and your text messaging and your phone features. So overall, as a phone and as a spy watch and camera, it actually works surprisingly well. It isn't just a piece of gimmicky product. It actually has its features and is fairly responsive. So at the price of around $50, if you can find this online on eBay, it's actually worth taking a look at, especially since as an unlocked GSM phone, it actually is a good phone, which is surprising for me to actually believe sometimes, but it's fairly good at what it does. Now, other things about this phone, you can also get in different colors, and this is the silver version. You can also get it in black and camouflage. In terms of button controls on the sides, you do have access to a OK key and a clear key. There's also a USB charging port, which you can access. This is a proprietary charging port, so you can't use it with any pre-existing devices you probably own, which is unfortunate. You basically access a USB to charge the device and sync it with your computer for information and data. It's quite lengthy there. And on the other side, you have a up and down menu key and a power on and off button. Now, a few things I did notice about this phone that was unfortunate, though, was the fact that some of the buttons weren't that responsive. Turning on the device was easy enough, and volume control was easy during calls, but if I was in a game, some games wouldn't recognize I was trying to go home by pressing the C button or the clear button, and I would be forced to use on-screen navigation of going back and back and back and back before I could go back to this clock screen. So that's just something to note. The UI is sometimes not very coherent and consistent throughout the entire system, but overall, again, for that subliminal piece, $50, this is a great spy phone to get, especially if you want to try something like this out before you purchase a more expensive piece like the LG Watch Phone or the W Watch Phone. So thanks for watching this video review at osandvdxreviews.com. This has been the SVP G13 cell phone watch.